Hi, this is Jeannie from Trendy Tree, and today I'm going to show you how to make a velvet pumpkin. Now, fabric is not something that we sell at Trendy Tree. If you're familiar with Trendy Tree, we sell all sorts of wreath making supplies, forms, mesh, ribbons, florals, seasonal decorations, and collectible ornaments. But I wanted to make some velvet pumpkins for myself, and so I'll just show you how I did it. This is one that I've made, and it's kind of a blue-gray velvet, and this stem is a real pumpkin stem. Now, you know, it's great if you can use real stems. Carrie bought these off of Etsy. It was like a bag for about $20, and I I painted the stems like gold and black, kind of an antique like, and then I also made some pumpkin stems on my own, and I used this air dry clay. You get this at Walmart, and it's just in like a little tub, and you just take a piece out and form a ball, and then just roll it between your fingers and just shape it, and take something like a toothpick or an orange stick or your fingers and kind of shape it into your something similar to a pumpkin stem, and let it dry. Now, if you let it air dry, it will take 2 to 3 days. This is what it looks like dry. But I put these in the oven. You want them to have a flat bottom, so when you're forming them, tap them down like that to make a flat on the bottom so they'll fit on your pumpkin. But you can air dry these in the oven on a very, very low heat, the lowest heat. I let mine stay in there all day. Here's another one. This is a real pumpkin stem, and this is the one that I made. Okay, so they're not bad. These are heavier, of course. A real pumpkin stem is very light, and these are heavy. Now, I have not dropped one of these to see, how, if it's going to break, but it's, feels pretty good. So we'll see. And I also made one out of a corn husk. I just kind of roll that together and use some hot glue. So that's another option that you could do too. And if you want to decorate with feathers or leaves, you can always, slip them under the stem before you hot glue the stem on. The other things that you will need is fabric, of course. And this is kind of a synthetic velvet. We got this at Hobby Lobby. And then we also, Carrie has this leopard. It's kind of a jersey material. It's stretchy. I haven't tried to work with anything that wasn't stretchy, so I think you do need something stretchy. So that's the two materials that I have. You need quilting thread, and this came from Walmart, and you can buy it. It says like machine quilting or hand quilting. So you want the hand quilting thread, and then you need large needles. These are like darning needles or yarn darner, but you need them because of the extra length, and of course scissors and that kind of thing, and hot glue. Now, I'm gonna hot glue. This is my little skillet. It's like a 7 or 8 inch skillet. It's just a regular little electric skillet, and these are like Gorilla Glue sticks, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in and let it be getting warm. Oops. Okay, I moved my camera outside because when I'm doing a video from the inside, there was a bit of an echo, so I don't know if this will be much better or not. But the first thing I'm going to do is cut the fabric, and let's see. I have a square. Now, the square, I really didn't measure this, but I think it's somewhere around 14 inches. So this will be a small pumpkin. The bigger the square, the larger the pumpkin. So my leopard square, or I've already cut it into a round, it's about 22 inches. So it's going to make, a pretty good sized pumpkin. But for this purpose, I'm going to do a small pumpkin so it won't take me too long. So there's a couple of ways that you can get a circle in your fabric. You can always lay something down and trace it and go around and cut it. I'm going to show you a little hack that I do. You take your square and just lay it flat out. Now you can do this two ways. You can fold the fabric over, fold it one time and then fold it again. And then if you want to, you can cut around that edge, just kind of round that from corner to corner, and that will give you a pretty good circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but what I'm going to do is just a quicker hack, and I'm going to spread my square out. I'm going to pick it up in the middle, shake it out a little bit, and then I'm going to look for my short side, and there it is right there. So I'm going to take that, just kind of squeeze it down with my hands. I'm still seeing my short side right there, and take my scissors and just cut the rest of that off. This is a real quick hack, and like I say, it's not perfect. You don't need a perfect circle for this, but you know, it gives you a circle that's good enough. Okay, so now we have our circle, and we're going to thread our needle, and you want to use a double piece of thread, and you need about a 36-inch length. You don't want to have your thread too short. Now the longer you have your thread, the more apt it is to tangle up too, but you can't have it too short. And then thread your needle. I hope I can zoom in on this when you, okay, so you want your double thread. Well, come on down and knot your thread. And the way to do that is just run your fingers down the thread, and when you get close to the end, wrap it around your finger a couple of times and then roll it and pull the knot down. Okay, so you've got your strong thread. Okay, now you can start on the wrong side, and we're going to start off, and I'm going to go ahead and back stitch. I don't want that knot to pull out, so I'm going to back stitch one time where I started, and then I'm going to take big bites, and I'm just going to go around that edge. I'm about 3/8 inch from the edge. Don't get too close to the edge. You know, a 1/4 inch is probably okay, but I'm probably more like about 3/8 of an inch. And just, you want to take big bites. If you did this on the machine, I think the gathers would be too tight. But you just go in and out around your fabric. Well, I keep getting away from the camera. And you want to work all the way around your fabric. And like I say, I've got some jagged edges there, but it won't matter. So I'm just going to sew, and you just sew all the way around, go all the way around that edge. Now I'm going to lay this one aside because I already have another one that I had started, so you don't have to sit there and watch me go around that whole thing. So this one I've already gone around, and I've gotten all the way back to the beginning, and you want to make sure that you stop. You don't want to run into where you started. You know, you want to be able to pull that thread to gather that. So just pull your thread and even out your gathers. You're making a little pocket of a sort. But you just gather that up. And then we want to put something in the pumpkin. I didn't tell you about that. To weight it down a little bit. I've got black beans. They're just dried beans. I got black beans because they were cheaper than any other beans. You could use other things, I'm sure, but I just got this because it was easy. And I'm going to pour some beans in there. This will just give the pumpkin a little bit of weight, just so it sits on your table good. And then you'll also need some polyfoam. This comes from Walmart, It's about $3 or $4. You'll need some of that. And now we're gonna stuff the pumpkin. I'm just gonna pull out pieces and just gonna poke it down in there and kind of poke it to the inside. And I'm just gonna pull out, a handful at a time instead of trying to put one big ball in there. Just kind of spread that out. It's kind of hard to know when you got enough or not. It just depends on how fast you want your pumpkin. I think that's enough. So now then, you're going to make sure that you've got your fiber fill down in there, and then we're going to tighten up that top again, and we're going to close that opening. So we're going to pull it tighter and tighter. Okay? And that's what it looks like, okay? So now, I'm going to kind of hold a little bit of tension on that thread. I'm going to hold a little bit of tension, and then I'm going to just go from one side to the other. I'm going to make sure that I catch the edge, pull that needle through, and I'm just going to hold that tight, keep holding a little tension on my thread till I get several stitches made, and then I can let go of that. Alright, you want to pull it snug. You don't want to break your thread, for sure. And then just go to the other side and put a couple more stitches in there. You don't want your gathers to come out. Be really, really careful with these needles. They are so sharp and they're large. So I don't know, probably put, 6 or 7 stitches all together. I really haven't counted. I just want to make sure that that stays good and closed. And there's lots of different ways to make these pumpkins, y'all. This is just one way. Okay, so now you've got the top closed. So you want to take your needle and very carefully, you want to go down the center of your pumpkin and come out on the bottom of your pumpkin. And you be really, really careful because you don't want to stick your fingers with that needle coming through. It will happen, y'all. So pull that up kind of snug and then go back down, not in the exact same place, but move over about 1/8 of an inch. Put the needle through, come back out the top again. This is going to make your little indentation in the bottom of your pumpkin. Okay, so hold your thread. You're going to have to kind of hold a little tension on your thread. Go back down again. You want to do that 3 or 4 times. Just be careful. These needles are lethal. Do that enough times that it catches pretty good and you've got your indentation. Okay, so that's good enough. So we have our bottom. So now we need to tie off. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to make a couple of more stitches. Just get a pretty good bite. And I'm going to tie this off. I'm going to make 2 or 3 stitches so I make sure that's going to hold good. Now you could always use thread that matches your fabric too. I used white on this because I thought maybe you could see it better. It really doesn't show though anyway. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we've got our little bottom indentation and we've got our top closed. Now you can snip your thread off right here. What I like to do is go ahead and take the needle, put it back through the center again, pull it out the bottom, pull the thread a little bit snug, and then clip it off. And then that way you don't have any little loose ends showing. So the next thing is you're ready for a stem. And this is kind of a small pumpkin. The ones that I brought out here may be a little bit too large. Well, let's do this one, okay? So I'm going to put some hot glue on this, and then we're going to put that right on there like that. So hang on. Okay, you want to use enough glue to hold it, but not so much that it squishes out all over the place. And then just kind of hold that in place. Hold that for a few seconds or half a minute or so, just to kind of make sure it's secure. And while that's holding, we hope that you'll visit us on our website. It's trendytree.com. We have all kinds of seasonal decorations for all the holidays, fall, Halloween, Christmas, Easter, all kinds of wreath making supplies. We have probably one of the largest ribbon collections you'll find on the internet. We just literally have thousands of styles to choose from, along with all kinds of mesh. We have tutorials on our website. Everything is shipped from Pontotoc, Mississippi. And we love you to visit us. And we hope that you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're here. And follow us on Facebook. Okay? So that's it. I like that. Turned out cute. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.